Hi, this is Jaya. In this video, we shall see the summary of The Rover, a play by Aphra Ben. Before going into the video, please like the video, share it with your friends, and if you have not subscribed my channel, please subscribe and support. Now we shall see the summary of The Rover by Aphra Ben. The themes are love, courtship, marriage, gender roles, and female agency. And the main characters are Angelica Bianca. She is a famous courtesan in Spain. Colonel Belville, he is an English colonel and he is madly in love with Florida. Blunt is a foolish English country gentleman and he gets duped by Lucita. And Don Antonio, he is a friend of Don Pedro. Don Pedro is the brother of Florida and Helena. Florida is the sister of Helena and Don Pedro. And Frederick is an Englishman and friend of Belville, Blunt and Wilmore. Helena, she is the sister of Florida and Pedro. Lucita, she is a Spanish whore and she cons men. And Valeria is a friend of Florida. Wilmore is the title of the play, that is The Rover. And this play, The Rover, has another title, The Banished Cavaliers, and it was debuted in London in 1677 in front of King Charles II. And it is said to be that King Charles II's favorite play was The Rover. And this is based on Thomas Killigrew's Tomasa. And even this Tomasa has another name, The Wanderer, and it was staged somewhere between 1654. And Tomasa was a closet drama. A closet drama means a drama which is only meant to be read and not to be staged. And Killigrew wrote Tomasa based on his own experience as a cavalier. Cavaliers are supporters of the king for Charles II while he was living in Madrid. And he also wrote another sequel, The Rover, Part 2, in 1681. And in Part 2, we find Helena has died at sea and setting Wilmore free. And there are more romantic adventures in that. Now, in this, The Rover by Aphra Ben, we find the play starts in a carnival, which is happening in Naples. And Naples is ruled by Spanish at that time. And the year is 1650. An English captain by the name Wilmore. He is the title of the play, The Rover. Rover means a person who keeps traveling in the sea most of the time. He comes and meets his friend cavaliers who are exiled, that is sent out of the place because they were supporting Charles II. And the friends are Belville and Frederick and also their friend Blunt. And actually they all have come here because they have to return to the ship. But they thought, okay, we can find some girls and have some romance before going to the ship. Now, Belville, he sees Florida, who's a young Spanish noblewoman, and he falls in love with her. And Florida also likes Belville back. But Florida's father wants her to marry a wealthy Spaniard, but he is an old man, and she also despises him. And Florida has a sister, Helena, who wants to become a nun. So she wants to escape. But before going, she wants to experience love along the way. Now, Florida and Helena's brother is Don Pedro, and he tries to save Florida by planning a quick wedding to his wealthy and powerful friend Don Antonio because he does not want her to marry the wealthy old man. And Florida falls only in love with Belville and she wants to marry him. Now, Florida, Helena, and their cousin Valeria, they use this carnival because in this carnival you can wear a mask, so you will not be able to be identified by anyone. And Florida informs Belville of her escape plot. At the same time, Helena, she is also hidden behind a mask. She sees Wilmore and she falls in love with him. And Wilmore is a person who actually he loves Helena, but he sees many beautiful girls there, and so he is getting distracted. And by the way, another famous Angelica, that is, she's a famous and a very rich courtesan. She sees Wilmore and she falls in love with him. She is a person who has never fallen in love with anyone, but Wilmore attracts her. At the same time, Blunt also falls in love with Lucita, but his friends warn him that she is a sex worker, but in spite of that, he is madly in love with Lucita. And everything soon goes wrong because Wilmore, what happens is he gets drunk and he goes to a garden and there he sees a woman, and not knowing that that woman is Florida who's waiting for Belville because they're planning to escape. He attempts to rape her. The lovers' escape plot is now spoiled because there is a lot of chaos there, and Wilmore understands that he has actually stopped the lovers from escaping, so he tries to make amends. Therefore, he attacks Don Antonio, who is trying to get married to Florida. At the same time, Lucida, she loses Blunt and she takes him to a separate place, strips him of his all this dress and takes whatever he has, including each and every cloth he is wearing. And so Blunt gets angry and humiliated and he says that I will take revenge on all the women. And due to the mistaken identity, Belleville wins Florida's hand in a duel. But Don Pedro refuses to accept the betrothal because he wants Florida to marry his friend. Florida escapes and she finds herself in Blunt's house. But Blunt has now decided that he will take revenge on all the women. So he shows his anger on Lucida by raping and beating her. Now Frederick and Wilmore, they think that Blunt is having a sex worker in his house, and they come there saying that they also want to take part in it. Now in order to save herself, Florida hands Blunt a ring that Belleville gave her. Now Blunt does not know what to do because he does not know what is her social status. At this time, Bell arrives with Don Pedro, and he cannot reveal that Florida's identity in front of him because he knows that if he says, definitely Don Pedro will take her and go off. Now after Don Pedro leaves, they clear with the matters with each other, and the men all come and apologize to Florida. A priest comes there and he marries Florida to Belleville and Valeria to Frederick. Now this time Angelica arrives there and she is angry with Wilmore, so she tries to shoot him, but Don Antonio enters there and stops her. Now Helena and Wilmore decide to get married too, and with no other choice because he knows that he cannot stop his sisters anymore, Don Pedro gives his best wishes and the play ends here. If you have anything more to add on to what I said, please write it in the comment box. Thank you.